Patrick was grinding against this blonde girl's ass right in front of me at Slub last Saturday, making direct eye contact with me the entire time like some kind of psychopath who wanted me to watch him completely humiliate me in public. I'm sitting here typing this, and I'm still so pissed I can barely think straight. This man looked me dead in the eyes while he had his hands all over this random girl and said the most disgusting thing I've ever heard come out of anyone's mouth. Let me back up for 2 seconds because I know you're all thinking, why the hell was I even there in the first place? Patrick and I have been together for 9 months, and yeah, before you start typing it in the comments, I know that's not that long, but it felt serious. We moved in together after 4 months because his lease was up and I was stupid enough to think it meant something when he suggested it. My parents live about 2 hours away and I moved here for college, stayed after graduation. Patrick makes decent money, always talking about how he's got his shit together compared to other guys our age. He's 26, I'm 24, and he loves reminding me how much more life experience he has. Red flag number 1 that I completely ignored like an idiot. So last Saturday, Patrick decides we're going out with his work friends to celebrate some big sale he closed. I should have known something was weird because he spent forever getting ready, changing his shirt 3 times and using way more cologne than normal. When I asked if I looked okay in my black dress, he just shrugged and said I looked fine, which isn't unusual because Patrick never compliments me unless he wants something. We get to the club and immediately his whole vibe changes. He starts ordering drinks for everyone, acting like he's the king of the place, and keeps making these comments about how all the girls there are dressed like they're actually trying. Every time a waitress comes over, he's all smiles and charm, asking about their night, being super friendly. With me, he barely acknowledges I exist. About an hour in, I'm standing by our table talking to Cynthia from his work when Patrick walks up behind this blonde girl at the bar. She's wearing this tiny silver dress, and she's definitely gorgeous, I'm not gonna lie. But what happened next was so calculated and cruel that I still can't believe it actually happened. Patrick starts dancing with her, which whatever, we weren't exactly attached at the hip. But then he positions himself so I can see everything. And I swear he planned this whole thing because he keeps looking over at me while he's all over this girl. His hands are on her waist, then lower, and she's grinding back against him and clearly into it. The music was loud, but not loud enough that I couldn't hear him when he leaned close to her ear and said something that made her throw her head back and laugh. Then he looked directly at me and mouthed, "This is what a real woman looks like." I felt like someone had slapped me across the face. Cynthia saw it too because she grabbed my arm and said we should get some air, but I couldn't move. I just stood there watching my boyfriend of 9 months publicly disrespect me in the most humiliating way possible. But it gets worse. So much worse. After about 10 minutes of this show, the girl's friends came over and pulled her away to dance somewhere else. Patrick walked back to our table like nothing happened, ordered another drink, and when I tried to pull him aside to talk, he laughed and said I was being dramatic. I told him what he did was completely unacceptable and that I wanted to leave. Patrick looked at me like I had just said the dumbest thing he'd ever heard and said, and I quote, "Babe, you're too ugly to ever worry about me actually cheating. That was just dancing." The entire table went quiet. Cynthia literally gasped. His friend Raymond actually said, "Dude, that's harsh," under his breath, and Patrick just stood